Hello students, in this video we will see linked list representation for sparse matrix. So as you all know, sparse matrix is a matrix in which most of the elements are 0. So this is an example of sparse matrix wherein uh, the matrix has maximum number of zeros. So to place a sparse matrix in a linked list, there are three steps. First is making of triplet table, which we have already seen, placing of header nodes and placing of element nodes. Now this header nodes and element nodes are something new to you. We'll just look at all these three steps in detail. So first we will see making of triplet table. So we have already seen what is triplet. Triplet meaning it is the representation of a non-zero element. So this triplet is going to consist of three components, which are row, column and value. What is row? Index of the row where non-zero element is located. Similarly, column is nothing but again the index of column where the non-zero element is located. Value is the value which is at that, meaning the non-zero value, what it is. So that is nothing but value. So these are the three components which form a triplet. Now we will see the triplet, meaning how do we make a triplet table from the matrix. We already know this, but we'll just see this once again. So the given matrix is here on the left hand side, which is in red color. This is the index, meaning the column, and this is the row. Okay, so the first entry in the triplet is what it is, some details about the sparse matrix. So the zeroth element here in this row is nothing but it is the number of rows and number of columns of the sparse matrix, meaning the order of the sparse matrix, and the value of the zeroth location is nothing but number of non-zero elements in the sparse matrix. So this sparse matrix has 1 2 3 4 and 5, so 5 elements which are non-zeros, so that is going to come here. Next entries are the entries of that particular location where we have non-zero element. So the first non-zero element is at location what, this 0 and 0. Okay, so we are going to make that entry into this triplet table. So we'll write here 0 0 and the value as 1, something like this. The next element is 2. So what is the index or row and column of 2? It is 1 and 1, so that entry I make, the value is 2. The next element is this particular 2. The index is 1 and 3, element is 2. Similarly, 3 is the next element, which is at row number 2 and column number 0, and the value is 3. So that entry I make in this triplet table. And finally 4, which is at location 3 2 and the value is 4. So this is my triplet table. Okay, we have seen this many times, so hope you have understood it better in this video. Next, yeah, this is the final triplet table. Next is we need to create the two linked list nodes. Okay, one is header node and second is element node. Header node we use to keep track of what row it is or to keep track of index, whereas element node is to keep track of elements, meaning the non-zero values. So let us look at what is the format of header node and element node. So first, the header node is represented as follows. So this is going to be one node of your linked list in which I will have the index value, meaning what is the value of that particular index, whether it is 0th row or 0th column or first row. So that index is going to come here, and it will have two pointers. They are down and right. Down is going to point to the next element or whatever is there down. right is going to also point to the right column or the next element. What exactly you will come to know, but remember that this is the format of the header node. It will have index, it will have this down and right pointer. Next is the element node. So element node will have this particular thing, which is nothing but row, column and value, meaning this is taken from the triplet table only, row, column and value. Okay, so what is the non-zero value? It is at which row and which column, so that entry. And again it will have these two pointers to point to the down element and to the right element if any. Okay, just remember this format, you will come to know how it is represented. Okay, so we'll start creating the linked list representation of my sparse matrix, which we have seen on the first slide. So the first we create a element node with the first line of the triplet table. So as you all know, the zeroth row in the triplet table was what? Something which told about the matrix, that it is the matrix is the sparse matrix is 4 cross 4 order, and there are 5 non-zero elements in it. So that is what we give in the first element or first node which we create. So I will just write it to the upper left, I will place it to the upper left corner, and now I will go on adding the header nodes, meaning my table had 4 rows and 4 columns, right? So I will add 4 uh, header nodes here, yeah, something like this, 4 header nodes here and 4 header nodes here to keep track of number of columns and the row number. Okay, now the header node are placed horizontally and vertically to the matrix, and they look something like this. So this is how you draw the matrix or linked list representation for the sparse matrix. Now let us take the entries one by one from the triplet table which we have created, and let us go on putting it here. So the first non-zero element is at location 0 0, meaning it should come somewhere here. So the first element I just take, I just place it over here. Now it is at location what, this is that triplet, right? 0 0 1, meaning it is at 0th row and 0th column. So this 0th header and 0th header column and 0th header row should point at this particular element, and this particular element in turn it will point to the 0th row. Okay, forming a circular list, something like this. Even column, if you see, it is going to form a circular list, something like this. Okay, let us look at the next element. So the next element is what? It is 2, which is at first row and third column. So I place it uh, sorry, first row and first column, the element is 2, so that I place it here. I arrange the pointers. I take the next element which is at location 1 3, and the element is 2. Okay, so this element is at first row, so I place it over here, and then it is at third column. So these pointers are pointing to the respective rows. Okay, so row wise, if you see, this first row has this element, then this next pointer will tell the next element, and the last, there is nothing after this, so this is going to point back to the header node of this particular index. Then then the next element is 3. So this is how you create the linked list representation of sparse matrix. So we go on adding the elements. as nodes. Okay, so there were two types of nodes, header nodes and element nodes. Header node is to keep track of row and column. Element is for non-zero values. Okay, so if you have not understood something, please rewind and watch the video once again. So this final slide is showing us the final representation of sparse matrix, which we had considered in the beginning of the video. Okay, thank you.